Today we're excited to be unveiling the new designer approval feature. And so to get this turned on to your account, make sure you go into your admin section with the appropriate account, go down to the work area of question. I'll go down to my production here, edit the work area. And then if you scroll down to the bottom of the work area, you'll notice the new section called Publishing Reviewers. These are going to be people that have the ability to sign off or reject a work instruction. They're going to be automatically generated by people that have access to HQ. So as you click on your down arrow, you're going to see a couple names. Just go ahead and select on the people that you want to have made as your approvers. These are all individualized to the work area. And then once done, go ahead and click Save. This will now engage the new feature into the system, and then from here on out, we'll show you how the system works. Now, as we're logged in as the designer staff shown up here, let's pretend that the designers are tasked with creating a new step in which they need to create the packaging for this product. So I'm going to go ahead into my assembly stations, click on Add Step, and let's just quickly build this step. Perfect. Simple enough. So now that the designers are complete with their task, traditionally, or prior to this launch, the operators would just simply press on the Publish unit, express what has changed, and then this would go live. It is still similar for them, but let's show you how this works. Now when I press Publish. So you'll notice now that this unit is under review, and that inside the design, the operator is no longer able to make any type of changes to this work instruction. If they were to try to click on this, it would let the operator or the designer know that this product is now under review. Shown above, you'll notice that we have the new section under review. And if the designer were to click on this, this is going to show the designer what steps have changed since the last one. Now they do not have the approval privileges, so they're unable to make any changes, but they're able to see that the product is now sitting here in draft. So now let's go ahead and pretend to be the people that are assigned the job of approval. Yeah. And here you can see I got an email sent to me from the Scout Systems generated system letting them know that the example unit is looking for my assistance in checking out this product, and I can see some notes from here. So now me as the approver, my role then would be to go and log into the product or log into HQ and see what's happened to the product since the last time. So let's go ahead and do that. Now signed in under Ben Marsh as one of the approvers of this work area, when I sign into my designer, there's a tab that says under review, and here I could see and sort all the products that are waiting for approval, and I could also sort by just the ones that I have the approval rights to expedite my job. So let's go ahead and click on this product. And the only ones that I need to focus on are the ones that are lit up in full color display. Now if I click on these three dots, this will show you the two people or however many people assigned in your work area as approvers. So let's say that Mark was already working on this product. I would see a check mark if he had completed his activity. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take a look at my product here. Now this is going to generate a Compass preview screen. So it's going to show whoever is doing the review exactly what it will look like for the operators. On the left hand side, they're going to see their materials. To the right, you're going to see the work instruction, any content. And then over on the far right hand side, if they utilize things like validations or warnings, you'd see that here. And for this instruction, all I did was to have a time period set aside. So while I'm approving this or rejecting this, if I were to go ahead and click on reject for some reason, let's go ahead and say need the plugs and the bill of material. And for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and reject this unit. Now this is going to show up with this orange pinstriping here. Clicking on these three dots, I could see that Ben Marsh is the one that has made actions, Mark Estep has not. When it comes to rejecting an instruction, as soon as one person on the team rejects it, it is capable of sending it back to the design staff. In order for this to be published and moved to the production floor, Every single person that is assigned to the team of approvals must approve the work instruction, and only once everybody has approved of every change would it automatically shift to the publishing world. But let's say, like in this example, the design staff missed a very clear mistake. They need to put that bill of material. I'm not going to waste Mark's time. So because I've rejected it, the system does allow me or anybody else that's an approver, once there is some type of rejection to take place, they could just reject it outright. So now what I'm going to do is click on the rejection, and this is going to punt it outside of the approval section, and it's going to get moved right back into draft. So here we can see it back in draft. You could see which station was, or what step was rejected. This one down below, this one's still under review, only the top one was punted. So now let's go ahead and sign out of this account and sign back in as a designer to see what it looks like from them going forward. All right, here we are. We're back signed in as the design staff. Here's that product that we were working on. Let's go ahead and open it now. So again, from the designer perspective, if they see the regular colored images, that means there's no change, nothing needs to be done. They have the ability to modify these and sending them back. The orange pinstriping, that specifically meant that somebody from the approvers rejected this and they've sent it back for me, my correction. So when I open up this instruction, this brings me right back into the designer that you should be used to seeing, but you'll notice there's a new button up here, the change request. So if I were to click on this as the designer, I could see specifically what changes were requested and by which reviewer. So I need to make sure that the plugs are listed in the bill of material. So when I go over to my materials and I say PNP plug, and I'll just make a part number for this example, and we need 2 of them for this unit. Alright, now that I've added that to my bill of materials, I just go ahead and say, yep, that was resolved. I'll save this unit. And in this world, I can see that there's a blue pinstriping. That means that I have now resolved the issue, but I need to send this back to review so I can get this moved forward for production. So I'll just go ahead and click on Publish Unit. Put my notes in here, so it will be associated to the changelog. Go ahead and hit Published. And here we go. This has now moved it right back to the under review section without having the credentials to do any type of a review. I could still open this. Whoops, I'm sorry. Click on the under review section. I could still open these, but since I'm signed in as a design staff, I don't have the ability to approve or reject. I could flip through and take a look at each of the steps that we have sent over for approval. So I do have the ability as a designer to still see the work that I've done. But while I'm in draft mode, I'm unable to do any changes until it is either sent through the under review to published, which I can then work on the next revision of the draft, or they'll send it back to me as we just did in that example. Now the changelog, this is going to show every single change that we've done. So in the last couple changes, we could see that Ben Marsh rejected that instruction. It said that they need to have the plugs added to the bill of material. And then I could see that the design staff modified the packaging step to add those 4 steps in the bill of material. And I could see that it's still currently pending. So as soon as an approval person shows up and accepts this, the changelog is going to update each of these to its own new revision to reflect what has been published, and then it's going to go to the production floor, and only the final version that's been fully approved will be available at the floor for your operators. This feature is going to allow you to have a lot more control about the content that's being created. It also gives you the ability to protect your content to make sure that as it's going through the floor, that the appropriate people have the chance to sign off on the work. Tighter revision control, and my personal favorite is that moving into the world of a digital world, it requires the transformation of old traditional work instructions to a modern digital platform. So in this world, with this new feature, in theory you would be able to give your operators the ability to document their own work instructions, or if you wanted to bring in new employees and task them to get familiar with your product, you could have them document and create your work instruction at a much lower labor cost, and then you could use your higher labor people to verify the work and make sure that everything is done to your customers' expectations. And if you have any questions, we'll have more content on this on our website, on our blog. So go to scout.systems, take a look at our blog under new features, and of course follow us on LinkedIn. That way you could stay in the news with all the updated changes that we're going to be coming out with in 2020.